Thank you very much for the floor once again, Mr. Speaker. Government won this debate in the first minute of the first negative speaker's speech, when he conceded that the problem of exploitation of illegal immigrants exists, and then provided no solution to that problem beyond a weak defence of a dysfunctional and ineffective status quo. But that's not all I'm going to say in this summary. I'm going to talk about not whether is there a problem, because that was the first concession that they made, but whether our policy goes some way to solving this. We say clearly it does. The solution that we heard from opposition is superficial, shallow, and has been proven not to work. The majority of this summing up will focus on whether citizenship is fair for them and for us. That's where most of the clash has happened in this debate, but again, clearly, it's why the government has won the argument consistently. On the first issue, we know there's a problem, they told us so themselves. They then said, but it's fine, we can work the status quo. They said, increase punishment. If you want to punish somebody, guys, this is law 101, right? You first have to prosecute them. If nobody reports the abuse, how is your increased punishment going to deter anything? It doesn't. Second thing, they said, you've ignored our analysis about citizenship tests. No, we haven't. We've told you that we just don't think citizenship tests in the status quo are fair. You haven't told us why the high bella that you claim needs to be there does need to be there. That's a fault on your side. What we've told you is that very often things like language requirements and knowledge of history are simply masks for racist attitudes, that they allow us to stop people from entering because they fail to fulfil certain criteria. We've also told you that in order to be an economically productive actor within a society, the vast majority of these people don't need language skills. They don't need knowledge of history because they've been here and working here for 20 odd years fine without them. Why can't they now do that in a legal framework? Oh, they said, well, grant them asylum. We've told you there are problems to that. Asylum does not give them permanent leave to reside. Asylum allows them to start the citizenship process, which at the end of it, they may still be deported to the countries that they fled illegally, trafficked in small boxes, sometimes over thousands of miles, at great expense. They said, well, they should have just done it legally then. Yes, they should have done. They should have stood at the back of a very long line whilst the abuse they were fleeing continued, just to tick our little box of what we consider a good immigrant. Sorry guys, no. They said, you'll bankrupt the state, we can't afford this. There is only one thing bankrupt in this debate, and it is their morality, ladies and gentlemen. They have insisted that our economic benefit is still more important than the fundamental rights of these people not to be raped, not to be beaten, not to be bloodied and cowed by the economic excesses of our system. They've said, just because they've broken the law, they're already bad. They break the law out of necessity, not out of choice. Ask any immigrant on the streets, if you could have come here legally, would you have done? We think it's true to the point of axiom that nobody would choose illegal immigration over legal immigration where that is a genuine option. We think it's disingenuous to claim that they would. This debate has been characterised by one thing, Mr. Speaker. We have consistently asserted on the government bench that there is a moral responsibility that the state bears, the government bears, and all of us bear because we have benefited from these people's exploitation and suffering. They have asserted that it might cost a bit of money. We think it's clear which argument wins the day. We ask the judges to vote with conscience